Hello everybody, my name is Seth Hines. I'm here with HH Catamarans in beautiful Cebu, Philippines, and we are aboard the HH44 hull number 3. I'm joined today by Simon Pickering. He's an independent marine surveyor, and HH is quite, maybe not unique in the industry because others might do it, but we do allow our owners to hire independent surveyors or representatives to come and look after their boats through the build, and that's what you do for quite a lot of our customers. And we were just hoping you could give us a take on 44 number 3.
As Seth says, I'm a marine surveyor. I basically represent at the moment 21 owners that have boats being built by HH Catamarans between the Xiamen factory and the Cebu factory. HH have given me pretty open access to the factory and the people working in the factory. So I've chosen to come and do this today, not because I'm paid to do it, as people may accuse me of, but because I genuinely feel that the product that's coming out of this factory is a pretty damn good boat. My experience with this boat kind of goes back a little bit over a year. I've been aware of what's been going on with it, and I think that I have a fairly reasonable handle of the macro level issues that this boat has or has not been experiencing.
When you came aboard, Simon, what did you find?
Well, okay, there's kind of two occasions that I can comment on. One was when I went down to Davao to do an inspection of the boat, and I went through the boat just fairly quietly, going into engine rooms and lazarettes and anchor lockers and stuff like that, and having a look around, and I didn't find anything that screamed to me that this boat has some major corrosion problem or stray currents, as people like to refer to it. I saw a pretty normal 1-year-old boat that had done a year's worth of cruising. And then the second phase to this is when the boat, I arranged the delivery crew that bought the boat here from Davao. And of course I took the time to have a look at this one, not that I'd been engaged to, but because it's of interest and it's of value to my other clients. And the zinc anodes on the propellers, the zinc anodes forward, the copper plates on the bottom, through hull fittings, none of these showed any evidence of there being stray currents coming out of them into the water.
Propellers, you didn't see blistering or anything?
There's no blistering. I mean, those zinc anodes were as good as new, even considering they'd been in the water for about 6 months. And again, the propellers are as good as new. Sure, they got the propeller guard on it and maybe some of that's come off and stuff like that, but there was, if you've got stray currents going out of a boat, the propeller is normally very badly eaten very quickly, and there was no evidence of that at any time. Now, anchor chain, a slightly different issue, and that there is an issue with the anchor chain. And but I don't believe.
What was that issue?
Well, the issue is that it's got 4 bad welds, and that's a manufacturing issue, not an issue with stray currents.
And you've inspected it. We went to the factory.
Yeah, I've inspected it on several occasions. Earlier today, we had a look at it together, and the photos that I've got of that, I've sent on to other experts to have a look at. And yeah, sure, they're not physically sitting there, but these are guys that are experts in their industry and in their field. Yeah. And they're coming back going, yeah, that's a bad weld. Yeah. That's where the problem is.
And you can see this, like if you're an owner, you start to think you have a problem and you find another problem, you think it might be related, and you kind of go down that path. Yeah. What about the anchor as well? The anchor and the anchor chain were both considered suspect, but was it just a bad quality weld, and what did the anchor look like?
Well, on the anchor, one of the issues that even the experts were struggling with was what they were calling, was it blooming or looming?
It's like rainbowing.
Yeah, kind of a rainbow look. And quite honestly, I think that's because it was cleaned with acetone. That would easily remove the dust and dirt that was on there.
Does that destroy the anchor?
No, it just affects the surface of the finish.
The sheen.
Yeah.
Because we've tested this boat, and we know that there's no stray current. We're not getting any currents at the anchor. And you made the point earlier, we're looking at the chain, that if it were to be a stray current issue, the issue you would have with the chain would be the lengths that are closest to the hull.
That's what common sense suggests. Yeah, right. I mean, I can't see why they were in the middle of the chain. My using common sense is that the source would be the starting point, not the middle of the chain.
And it's hard to know what happens in a boat building facility versus, once the boat's been handed over. But, if acetone were being used to clean, painted surfaces and areas around the boat, maybe owners did use that to clean deck gear, like the pad eye. And do you think that would carry on into the ownership, or once the owner used the right type of cleaner, that solved that problem?
Well, from what I observed is that the owner used probably what was the correct cleaner in October of 2024.
That was quite late. That was half a year after.
I think that at that point, that those pad eyes were clean then, and they were still looking good in February. So it suggests, if it wasn't the cause, then, if stray currents were the cause, surely they would have been rusty again by that point.
So in your opinion, having looked at the boat, what is your take in general? Does everything metal on the boat need to be replaced, or is it?
Not at all. I see absolutely no reason. There's no evidence of anything needing to be replaced.
Would you change the standing rigging?
I don't see any reason why it needs to be changed, because I don't think there was an issue.
Yeah, so we've changed the anchor chain just to put in a new anchor chain. So there's not 4 welds out of the 200 feet of chain that look good. And the anchor actually we've put back on and just cleaned it with the right materials. The standing rigging is still the same.
And the anchor has like one point on the underside of it, which looks to me like it's damaged from hitting a rock or something, hitting something on the bottom.
Right.
And if you zoom up and close on it, you can make it look pretty exciting. But I'm fairly certain that that's just normal wear and tear.
Boat. I mean, we are we're refitting this boat, but it is still a year old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, keep in context, it did 1,500 miles, or nearly 2,000 miles by the time it got back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for a viewer's sake, the other changes we made to the boat were, with our electrical system. So we did find some circulating currents. So we've actually now had 4 different iterations of electrical design changes that we've made to that system. So we're learning a lot. This boat, as we talked about, is really kind of the first batch that came out. So we've learned so much. Now we're kind of on V4. There is no circulating current at all. We've made all those modifications to this boat. We've also changed the start battery. So the start battery did have an issue where we were probably a little bit too clever for ourselves, where there was a way to flip switch and charge the start battery from the house bank.
Yeah.
So we've now removed that ability. There is no switch anymore.
Yeah.
And really that start battery, whereas before it did run some systems, so it ran the pumps, it ran the ventilation systems in the engine rooms. That's all just now to the house bank. So the only thing the start battery does is start the engines. Yeah. And even the alternator has been disconnected from that. And we just use a smart charger from the house bank to keep it topped up. Yeah. So the battery systems have also been looked at. Yeah. This is boat 3, which is really, one of our first boats that was really used. In essence, it's really kind of batch 1 or almost boat 1, because this boat is the first one where it was really lived on full time. Yeah. Whereas the first hull 1 and hull 2 were sent to owners that don't live on board full time. Yeah. And so those 3 boats, really, we've learned so much. This is a brand new, innovative design, lots of new systems on board, lots of new ways of thinking about building a boat. Is it kind of an industry standard in your perspective that the first 10 boats out of a new design are you're going to learn a lot from them?
I've done a very similar startup in the past, where in the early thousands we did a new product in Shanghai, and
boat building,
yeah. And we did a 32-foot gentleman's motor launch. It would be nice that we could build a boat standalone and fully develop it and then put it into production. But nobody has that luxury.
I think it's true in the industry. To be fair, to everybody, and I think every builder, I don't care which one, how high end, they've had challenges. And what hopefully matters most, I keep saying, and I believe truly, is how do we respond as a builder? And are we, going back and we fixed all the first boats. We fixed 1 through 5 retroactively to meet the same electrical setup as this. And I hope that's the type of support that I would want if I were out cruising and I bought one of these boats. It's an expensive boat to buy. And to take the learnings, okay, it's fine to be maybe a bit of a tester, but at least I should get that learning put into my boat. And I feel like that we've tried very hard as a builder to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you're chasing boats around the world.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy.
It's not easy.
Greece was the hardest.
It's not easy. Yeah.
Just being fair and honest, we're not perfect as a builder. We're really trying though, and we're trying to build a great boat.
Yeah.
And we're trying to build at the very highest end of the market, and we're trying to be innovative at the same time, doing new electrical systems, new electric propulsion systems, finding new solar that can be custom shaped for this roof, folding transoms that fold down. All of these systems are all intricate and unique, and all have their own idiosyncrasies. All the ones I've mentioned, we've already learned and iterated and changed, on our future 44s. And it is amazing to me, in this industry, a boat is such a complex piece of equipment with I don't know how many thousands of moving parts. But the owners want that. They want it to be cutting edge. They want air conditioning. They want dishwashers. They want different systems. And all of that just adds more and more complexity and more electrical demands and more battery capacity. And it just compounds. And it's not surprising to me that we're here, but we really appreciate you, helping us, guide us, and supporting our customers, and helping tell us what we need to be doing to achieve our goals. Because I think we all have the same goal in mind, which is to build a great boat.
Well, I mean, my underlying comment, or the comment that I repeatedly make to the company, is we all share a common goal: the better boats.
If a customer were to come to you today and say, "Hey, I'd love for you to represent me through a new HH44 build," has HH learned what they need to learn through these major development issues? Am I going to have that problem in my boat? And if you were to look after them, what would you recommend?
Okay. All the way through on this electrical system, my underlying attitude has been it's going to be sorted out. I was not the first to engage with Nigel Calder. One of our mutual clients did. I mean, he brings a level of expertise and credibility that none of us have. And I think, Nigel giving the boat the clean bill of health that he did. I mean, that particular interview you did with him, which I've watched in detail, I came away from that feeling pretty confident that we were on the right path. I'm pretty confident that there are no major electrical issues related to circulating currents, and that there were never stray currents of any significance, if at all. Those changes get implemented in all boats as soon as they possibly can. And if a boat's out in the field, we've got 2 boats in Palau at the moment. There's one boat in Singapore, another boat heading for Singapore. But we've got boats in Spain as well.
All over the world.
And there's all over the world, and there's people traveling all over the world to make, quite honestly, quite small changes. And a lot of that, the reason that they're having to travel is that actually at location there are perhaps not the skills. And I think that as an organization, yes, HH has stepped up, not necessarily immediately. And this is where there's perhaps a little frustration on some clients' behalf that the problems are not solved instantly. But this comes back to, physically deploying people to travel around the world to carry out these things takes time, and actually working out what the real issue is takes time as well. Yeah. And it's one thing to turn up and make changes, but you've got to turn up and make the correct changes.
Yeah.
And I think that at the end of the day, it's been done.
Fine.
Yeah.
Great. Simon, thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Should we go sailing?
Yeah, we go sailing.
Let's go sailing.
We need to eat lunch too.
Thanks, Simon.